to go. Everybody knows I've got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.
So we've got two celebrities here, but they're also really successful businesswomen and real estate agents. And what I really want to talk about here is not about being on TV or the reality show. I want to talk about the business behind that. Because I have a feeling, and we've spoken a little bit, they're not doing this because they want to be on TV. They might like it. I would like to be on TV. I have no problem with that. But there's been some good business decisions, or it was a business decision. We'll find out if it was a good one or not. So the first question I have for you guys is like, how long have you been in real estate, and then how long have you been on TV? Like, what came first?
Kelly, why don't you start?
So how long have I been on TV? I started in television during the Ice Age, 2006. Mm-hmm. And I've been in real estate for the past 4 years.
4 years. So TV came first, and then you leveraged it into real estate. Great.
And this is my second year in television, and we've just finished season 2.
Gotcha. I was on Cops once. That was it. You wouldn't recognize. I didn't have my shirt on at the time. What circumstance landed you guys on TV? And was it purely to market yourself in a clever way, or it's like, oh, this is a cool opportunity? I mean, like, what was the thought behind that?
I think TV is obviously, it's a great platform if it's it has to be the right fit. Mm-hmm. It has to be on brand, and it's just one more aspect to growing your business. It's not the end all be all, but it's one more aspect, which can be obviously very favorable.
So what came up where you went, oh, this is an opportunity?
Well, what came up for me, I've had opportunities come my way over the last few years, but what I liked with this is that it's me being me. I'm a mentor, and it comes very naturally.
Great. And you?
So as you guys know, I was on The Real Housewives of New York City. Woo! Super fun show. I was also on Selling the Hamptons last season. Mm-hmm. The Real Housewives is a docu-soap, so it doesn't really lend itself to talking about real estate or real business. It's more monkey business, which is actually great because I think one of the most important things about being on a reality TV show is really generating as many optics as possible and resonating with that fan base. And so the one thing that I have done with my fan base is definitely, they've seen me raise my kids, they've seen me in multiple businesses, they've seen me working in real estate, doing very, very well in real estate. I obviously have a team of 9 that I created in the past 6 months. Did very, very well last year, did the #1 deal downtown in New York for $41 million.
Go Kelly.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Lisa and I are having a love fest, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this, but we are all New York, all love, all women. And so, just resonating with the fan base. It doesn't matter what show you're on, whether you're on a docu-soap or whether you're on a $1 Million Listing or Lisa's show, just resonating with your fan base and being authentic to yourself, I think is the most important takeaway from TV.
Gotcha. And you run around. It's like you work out and get promote as a result of that, don't you?
Well, we both run around. Lisa was in fitness before, and I do a lot of running. But I, work in New York, Miami, Aspen, Florida, the Hamptons, and Paris. And I now have 2 listings in Ibiza.
Okay, so all this stuff takes a lot of time. Has it paid off? Or sometimes you go, what the fuck am I doing?
I think it's about time management, and so it doesn't take as much time as you think if you're really, aware of your schedule, and you could obviously be doing a lot of things. I'm a great multitasker.
Right.
So I've made a point that it's not going to be a time suck.
Okay.
I think to Lisa's point, I think that there's a lot of people that talk about, I work so hard, and they're constantly talking about this hard work. And I think that one thing that, that separates Lisa and I is that we work smart. We both are mothers. We live in New York City. We both travel a lot. We have diverse client base. And working smart is really, really important. Knowing when to tell your clients, let's put a pause in this. Let's come back with it tomorrow. Let me get some information for you. You know, you don't always have to be like on your phone 24/7.
For sure.
Because sometimes clients need to hear no, because then they'll trust you more, and you know they'll realize that you're actually in it to make sure that you're making the right decisions for them as a client, and not just trying to like just have a sale.
Like you, I have really high maintenance clients, but if you tell them with the kids or something, everyone gets that.
Well, there has to be boundaries, and I think it's very important to establish boundaries, because just because, you know, it doesn't necessarily make you more valuable to be there 24/7.
Right.
Wait, will you tell us about one of your high maintenance clients? Does it have anything to do with the Playboy Mansion?
Oh, yes.
I didn't think you were going there today.
I mean, why not? Everyone wants to know.
Yeah. The seller and the buyer. I had two billionaires, and both of them wanted exactly what they want, and they weren't going to budge, and I had to get them both convinced that they got what they wanted.
So they both bought it?
No, there was a buyer and a seller,
Oh, I see.
and
Got
they
it.
both
Okay.
were impossible.
I love how Gary's like, I had two billionaires, buyers and sellers.
So
The humility.
So let me ask you a question. So you've got. I was talking earlier today about opportunities. You have this great opportunity. You've obviously leveraged it. Did that just come organically, or have you really sat down and said, okay, how do I take full advantage? I know you have a manager and you've got people that you work with. How do I take full advantage of this opportunity that I have?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, everything you have to put thought. You have to put thought into everything. So having more eyes on you, being able to have that opportunity, you have to really think it out properly and make sure that it's gonna, you know, it's worthwhile.
Right.
For sure. Do you agree? I mean, it's got to have thoughtfulness and purpose.
I mean, I definitely do. I think especially in this day and age where we are, you know, media is so important and our optics are so important, and the way that we, you know, handle social media, our ability to sell with social media. We can actually sell now on Instagram. I do have a lot of buyers that come through that. And it's a big responsibility. So you have a network of clients that you have, whether that's from your hometown, your friends, your television shows, whatever. Everyone is trying to leverage everything that they're doing and creating these brands of themselves in order to be different and unique. And you know, I think that like Lisa and I are lucky because we do have different eyeballs, for lack of a better word. But at the end of the day, you guys, you know, you have to leverage your own networks, and you know, whether that's your friends, your family, your schools, your churches, you know, you have the opportunity to tell them, hey, here's the market report, here's the Wall Street Journal Mansion report, here is some of the information of things that are really going on. So you can have all the eyeballs in the world, but if you're not giving them the right information, then what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's going back to what you were saying. You have to have purpose and intention when you have the opportunity.
I mean, you guys are in a unique position to do what you do, but this is one of hundreds of ways you can be successful in real estate. I've heard so many bizarre ways that people have been stupid successful. There's one agent who is a broker owner in Beverly Hills. His whole business model, I don't know if you figured this out, but he would go to the Friars Club. He'd get hammered and play poker and play gin every day, and he built an empire with it. And I think he died of sclerosis of the liver, but that's irrelevant. But that's how he was successful. I've heard it. I know another woman who was a professional golfer, and she plays golf and tennis at a country club, builds her business on it.
There's so many. I mean, that's exactly right. There isn't just one road. As we all know, there's not just one road to being successful.
So
period.
Is there something in the entertainment field that you haven't done? You go, okay, now that I have this would really take my business to another level. What have you haven't leveraged yet that's on the list? I always have a list of things to do. I'm sure you have them.
I mean, I feel lucky that I've, you know, been working in a lot of different mediums in the entertainment industry. And so I'm building a new media company where I can really maximize my own optics and also others. So that's really exciting. And, you know, now it's kind of like a new path. TV I love. I'm having a great time being on all these different shows. but really, maximizing and helping others with all the new information that's coming to me. That's really my future.
And also, creativity. One's always brainstorming and thinking of exactly to what you're saying. What is that next
Is there
level?
something else on the list
Oh, always.
that you want to?
I mean, for me, being a mentor on the show, I
Right.
want to create, like where you're selling real estate or teaching people how to be successful. I
Right.
find that very sort of a natural direction for me to go right now.
Okay, so you're in real estate. Is there any agents that you know anywhere around the country that you go, wow, that's really smart. I would love in my next incarnation or as an addition I'm inspired by what this person's doing.
I mean, personally, I like to stay in my own lane. And in fact, a few years ago, I didn't even go on people's websites because I didn't want to get distracted. But I do look at some, incredible agents, and you always can learn and pull things from people's
Right.
success.
So, we work with Douglas Elliman, and, for me,
We are very lucky.
we are
Very, very lucky.
I mean,
Yeah, incredible.
I know that my first day at Douglas Elliman, I brought in $7 million, and the end of the week, I had brought in $15 million worth of clients. And so I really feel very proud to work with Douglas Elliman. But there's been so many great people who have been so successful. Obviously, Barbara Corcoran, always look up to her.
Right.
And Frederick Eklund. I mean, I've known him forever. I've known him before I was even on television. Yeah. So proud of he and John for everything that they've done. So it's just
unbelievable.
I just feel like there's just so much more opportunity than we've ever had in this world. And selling real estate, it's real. It's an empathetic environment. It's a transaction environment. It's aesthetics, and I think that there's so much opportunity for everybody. And I open myself up to all of you guys. If you ever need any help co-marketing any of your products, your properties, I want you to reach out to me, and I want to be more of a value add to the real estate community.
Or me. You can reach out to either.
Both of us. Yeah. Both of us.
When I go to these conferences,
if she's busy, call me.
In a couple
versa.
weeks, I'm going to a Tom Ferry conference, and I talk to other people around the country that are doing all kinds of different business. It's so humbling because there's so many ballers in our business, and again, they're doing they're not necessarily expensive houses, but they're doing something that's extraordinary. There's people that sell thousands of houses a year.
Yeah.
Sounds like a headache to me. But it's a good.
You'd rather just sell like the Playboy Mansion, exactly, with the 2 billionaires, exactly.
Okay,
easier. That's good time management instead of 1,000 houses. See, good for you. Very impressive.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
I like
you're right.
it.
Is there been some downside that you like to this whole thing?
I mean, I'd like to answer that first and then turn it to Kelly, but I don't look at things as downsides. And I think, my chairman said years ago, a mistake is not a mistake unless you keep making the same one over again. So I think that, there isn't downsides. Everything has an upside without being too,
Big mistakes make great stories.
Right, but they're also, you also learn,
of course.
right? So
that's how you grow and get stronger.
Right. I don't know, what do you?
I think, I work 8 days a week, and when I first started in this business, people were like, you're pretty, you're not going to be successful, no one's going to take you seriously. And so maybe the downside would be just kind of trying to get over those hurdles of people thinking that because I was on reality TV that, I wasn't going to be successful. And so I just have put, time, effort, and resources into everything I do every day. And I really enjoy where I am today in my life. I'm very proud to work in the real estate industry with all of you guys. And so just jumping over that hurdle, I think, was the hardest thing for me. Okay,
to that point, regardless, let's just take the being on TV media out of the question. What are your strengths as an agent? Because all this is giving you is opportunity. It doesn't give you still got to execute. Right. And you obviously have some strengths that really get deals closed. I'd like to know what they are. Well, my background was fitness, so I think that's every morning where I start. My success is in the gym. Working out sort of gets my thoughts in order of what needs to get done. It's very important for me. Right. And then, of course, you have to have a lot of passion and determination and grit.
And always, constantly, a lot of balls in the air, you know. That's because a lot of, I think would you agree that most of what we do doesn't work out? Most top agents, so you have to have so much going on. It's not, you know, it doesn't, and the better you get, the quicker you rebound.
Like you had mentioned Instagram, you get a lot of leads from there. But it's like 1/1000%, but that's a lot of leads. You don't need that many.
I mean, listen, I've cleaned the worst toilets, you know. I mean, I definitely get my hands dirty, that's for sure. But I think that, you know, when people think of me in the real estate business, they think of me as trustworthy, number one, honest. I have an incredible amount of integrity. I say no a lot. And I just think that, you know, that my authenticity really resonates. And I think that's really, really important, especially when you're buying and selling your first home, your last home.
Right.
So other than working out, like as like a salesperson, what's your,
I'm always very creative.
Right.
So I never take no. I always say no as the beginning of the conversation, and I, you know, am constantly, you know, this is a business you have to be thinking of 24/7.
Right.
And so even if, you know, oftentimes if the client thinks they want something, they may want something completely different. So it's very important also to be offering, because everyone in New York, I think at this point, has their broker's license. You really have to go above and beyond.
And they have an app as well.
And an app, exactly. And so you really have to offer a level of service that they don't find with, you know, other brokers, because there's so many people that are now, you know, in this business.
Well, to wrap this up, there's 2.3 million real estate agents in the U.S., and what you guys did is, you know, the half of it is standing out, which you pulled off, but you still need to have the goods, which you guys obviously do. Well, I want to thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I think that's our time.
And I want to just say one last thing. That we're so lucky to work for DE and have so many amazing brokers like Kelly and Frederick and so many other people. We're just very fortunate.
We are.
Yeah. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I got the magic in me.